Hi, my name is Leah Hoyden, and I'm going to be talking about the TikTok clean girl aesthetic and why it was trending due to the social psychology lens. So first, what is the clean girl aesthetic? The aesthetic trend started on TikTok to emulate celebrities like Hailey Bieber, who rock the natural look and is characterized by flawless, natural-looking skin, rosy cheeks, thick feathered brows, gold jewelry, glossy lips, and then slick back hair styled with a claw clip. I'm going to be showing a video that kind of talks about how this trend has caused TikTok to kind of, it started off as trying to be like some authentic trend, but it kind of veered it away from it. But yeah, I'll show you the video and then kind of go into more explanation.
Clean Girl was one of the first trends that I can personally remember on TikTok that moved the app away from its like raw and unfiltered roots. Like suddenly the girlies were sharing their highly aspirational life and they were blowing up on the app because of that. And it was this weird dichotomy because the point of TikTok up until then was that it was supposed to be this app that was all about authenticity.
Yeah, which is part of the contrast of a clean girl, is because the way that it was presented at first was that it wasn't an aesthetic. That was just the way that these girls lived their lives.
Totally. I mean, it's this effortlessness that made Clean Girl at the beginning feel more authentic than the highly curated content of social media past. But that
Yeah, so basically the clean girl aesthetic, although it kind of promotes this healthy lifestyle, it does kind of set these unrealistic standards that influencers have set through these TikToks and kind of day in the life videos. So why is it trending? Well, first of all, people want to achieve the effortless beauty look because obviously it shows that they don't have to try very hard to look put together, and it kind of gives off that you look clean to others. And so when looking at through the lens of social psychology, the clean girl aesthetic can be seen as a form of self-presentation, where those following the trend deliberately present themselves as neat, tidy, and minimalist to convey having traits such as purity, sophistication, or adherence to a certain lifestyle, like being active, going to Pilates, yoga, and eating healthy. And so by aligning with this aesthetic, people hope to kind of gain these positive evaluations from their peers and to shape how they are perceived in social contexts. So the clean girl aesthetic becomes popular because it allows individuals to feel like they belong to a particular social group or the in-group that shares similar values. And by adopting this aesthetic, they boost their self-esteem by associating themselves with traits and values they perceive as desirable within that group. And in this case, that would be minimalism. And it's also a way for people to affirm their identity and feel a sense of belonging. So when individuals see others embodying the clean girl aesthetic, for example, they often compare themselves to these standards. So when celebrities like Hailey Bieber and other famous influencers that women and girls look up to for inspiration and are kind of the epitome of the beauty standard, sporting this trend, it causes others that look up to them to want to emulate the characteristics that they portray. So, if they end up falling short from these standards, they are more motivated to adopt the aesthetic in its entirety to match up. So they'll get their jewelry, they'll start slicking back their hair and start, having the lip combination that Hailey Bieber wears. And so this upward kind of comparison helps them enhance their self-perception and feel more aligned with what they perceive as desirable or attractive, as well as build their own self-esteem. So now we're going to talk about some TikTok examples of the clean girl aesthetic and how, although it seems like this effortless trend, a lot of effort really goes into it. And we're going to start with this middle one.
This is exactly how you're going to become a clean girl. Firstly, I'd say most importantly, but your outfit. If you don't know what to wear, always go with the sandwich method because trust me, this never fails. You can't be a clean girl without smelling good, so always make sure that you have like your signature scent that you just wear all the time. Also, something I'd really recommend is this. Basically, you keep it in your purse and you spray it under your arms, and it just keeps you smelling fresh all day long. This one's super expensive and not everybody can do it, but always having your nails done just is the definition of clean girl.
So yeah, that one kind of shows how much effort people put into achieving this effortless look, which kind of sounds contradicting. Next, we're gonna kind of look at this TikTok that shows the makeup trend. So as you can see, she has obviously the slick back hair, the feathery brows, the no under eye makeup, very minimalist, just mascara, gold hoops, and the lip gloss combination, and rosy cheeks. And it also kind of just shows how like just the vibe of the whole video is very like put together, like there's no talking in it. She's very like stoic almost, which kind of enhances that aesthetic even more because you kind of believe that she actually, adheres to that lifestyle. And lastly is this morning routine video. This one kind of shows the kind of like this one is obviously an ASMR video, but it kind of does show a bit of like the unrealistic, like obviously like showing the healthy habits and stuff, but also like you can tell a lot of it is obviously just for show and to get the views and the likes. And people end up thinking that people actually live this kind of life, which kind of adds fuel to the fire of trends like this, where people kind of are self-critiquing their own lifestyle and comparing it to these TikTok influencers. As you can see, a lot of skincare products in there. Everything matching, all the pink. Journaling, healthy habits, quote unquote. So this trend has caused an extreme uprise in skincare. The skincare industry generated a revenue of over $130 billion in 2022 globally, which is when this trend first started off. And I saw that the skincare industry is set to grow roughly 6% in revenue every year. I think it was starting 2021 that it was set to grow by 6%, which is crazy. And shows how much effect these trends are to the point where having a skincare routine has actually become trendy to the point that young kids are partaking, specifically like 10-year-olds to tweens, but on the left I'll show a video of younger ones, where it's gotten to the point where there's this expensive skincare line called Drunk Elephant, and a lot of 10 to 12-year-olds have wanted that for like Christmas, this past Christmas, to the point where it's sold out. And a lot of these skincare products that these kids want to use are like anti-aging or anti-wrinkle, where it's not necessary and it honestly causes more harm to their skin. I didn't even have a skincare routine until college, and it kind of shows how these trends are really affecting all age groups in a sense, because TikTok especially is the forefront to creating these trends to the younger age demographic. So we kind of start to notice how young people are starting to look a lot older because they're kind of getting influenced by for example, clean girl aesthetic and yeah, like certain clothing trends. I'm gonna show this video on the left before I continue.
And Cody.
So this video is just this lady kind of critiquing what these kids are putting on their skin.
Why not? The watermelon toner, that would be a no for such young skin. Harsh exfoliating acids in here. It is helping to minimize pores. Where are there any visible pores on this porcelain face? Cloudberry, that is for brightening your skin. Again, where does she need to brighten her skin? Mom, please listen to this. Cleanser, moisturizer, SPF. That is all this child needs.
Let's have my Glow Recipe Firm Serum. Gotta keep those wrinkles away.
Directly from the Glow Recipe site. When should you use it? Early 20s, not 7. It's really sad that this is like a joke to them and they're making these videos just to get clicks and views and comments and not thinking about the harm that could be done to their kids' skin.
Anyway, so that video kind of continues on, but it shows how even if these kids are doing it for clicks and likes and not actually kind of partaking in these products regularly, it does kind of set up other kids or other young impressionable minds into thinking that that is normal and that is the norm, like that is what kids are supposed to be doing. And the skincare trend is already kind of making my age group feel like we need to like be ahead on like anti-wrinkle and all of this stuff, which is kind of crazy. And it's scary to think that some of these kids are already, you know, to the point where they're probably doing more harm than good to their skin. And additionally, not just kids, but this trend is also a little bit toxic in terms of, you know, the clear skin trend that comes with the clean girl aesthetic can be harmful to people that have genetic skin conditions like acne. Not everyone is fortunate enough to have clear skin. And even if they do use certain products to like help them, it won't necessarily be up to the aesthetics par. So it can be very harmful to people that suffer from these conditions. Next, I'm going to be talking about the ethnocentrism behind the trend. So before this became popular, a lot of the aspects of the clean girl aesthetic were kind of taken from different cultures. So for the hoop earrings, African culture and Latinx communities have been wearing the gold, you know, or just hoop earrings in general. And before it was trending, it was seen as ghetto. But of course, now that white people are doing it, it is seen as put together and minimalist and clean and all of that stuff. And then the brown lip liner and brown lip gloss combination that Hailey Bieber has made popular and coined it as brownie glazed lips actually originated in Latinx culture and has been around since the 90s. But because now white women are popularizing it, they are given no credit for their inventions. And hair oiling was that is used in South Asian cultures frequently was seen as looking dirty and gross, but now it is seen as clean and trendy and you are put together. And next, obviously, the feathered brows that are seen in South Asian and Arab women before it was trending, they were seen as untamed. So it kind of shows how before, you know, like white people decided to kind of make it like popular and kind of coin it as like this clean minimalist look, it was people of color were kind of made fun of and it was seen as this negative thing, but now it's seen as like a trend. So next, I'm going to be talking about how companies can utilize TikTok lifestyle trends according to social psychology. So what they could do is partner with influencers that embody the characteristics of the trend. So I'm like people like Hailey Bieber, like I mentioned, she made that big, but also influencers like Sophia Richie, who has been at the forefront of this trend as well. And kind of you can also do smaller influencers that kind of emulate that look and that lifestyle. Additionally, creating products that fit into the aesthetic, which includes just having like very clean products, simplistic packaging, and then lastly, having the values or brand messaging match the aspirations and values of the aesthetic they are targeting. So for this specific trend, the main thing is to have like all natural ingredients and to be as natural as can be. And this can be applied to many trends, honestly, not those specific values, but values in general, like knowing what your target demographic kind of is looking for in their products as a whole. But yeah, that is it. And thank you for listening to my presentation.